So this morning we're here, typical morning yearling prep. This is a barn of 10 colts, probably our best colts, Book1 and 2s. They've all been tacked up for the first time end of last week. So putting their rollers on, putting their roller on is part of the morning process. You've got to do it in a safe way. They all have their own tack, they all have their own bits and brushes, they all have their own rugs and their own leads and their own boots. So they'll come out now, we'll have a quick look at them, and then they'll file off and go on to the walker. From then they'll get lunged and do their various different morning exercise. This is a bit, obviously. These yearling bits have special things in the middle, which helps the yearlings play with their mouth and gets them used to having something in their mouth. And they have their own set of boots, which is to stop them banging themselves. And then the roller is here. So we always put a towel on first, which stops the roller rubbing on top. And this is, I think these are the best rollers. They're really well made. That goes around the front. That's obviously the girth. And then you can clip side reins, which we always keep very loose, but it helps the horses make a bit of a shape when they're in the lunge ring and when they're on the horse walker, which helps build up their top line, which is where you want the muscle on a horse, not underneath it with big strong front necks and bellies. You want the muscle over the top of their necks and over the top of their backs, which helps them move better and hopefully gallop better. So every time they stand still, we stand them up in the certain way they stand up at the sales, just to teach them that that's how they should stand. They go on the walker for about an hour. Their exercise is totally tailor-made to them. Depending on how they look and how much exercise they need, we decide how many times a week they're going to get lunged. So the horses that aren't going to get lunged come up on these two walkers, and the horses that are going to get lunged go down on the horse walker that's next to the lunge ring. So this is our lunge ring. This is my good friend Jay, who we built a couple of years ago. It's made so much difference because the horses are used to seeing someone standing up here. This is her fifth time on the lunge. So she's still learning. She's still getting used to having the tack on. She's getting used to having the side reins on. You can see she's not 100% sure about the tack still. But Karen lunges all of our horses and has done for many years. So this is our main feed room, HQ of yearling prep. We think about feed from the moment the mares are pregnant to when they're in yearling prep. So they start off quite generic, and then we build them up over the course of the 10-week prep to end up having 4 feeds. These are the different feeds. So this is the Saracens prep mix, which we really like. We find it very palatable. So we tend to mix that with Saracens level grade pencils. We find if you feed too much of the really rich mix, the horses can get quite loose in their droppings. Each yearling has 2 buckets of their own with their name on it. That's just to avoid contamination of stables and anything like that. And as you can see, it's a mixture of alpha, some nuts as well, prep mix, and then some top coat, which is a smaller pellet.